What's up guys, Canadian comic collector here. So for today's video we're going to be doing some cover cleaning. So everybody watching this video, everybody that collects comics has books in their collection that just have that, it almost looks like dirt from hands. It's like a light black grime that's on the white parts of your pages on the cover. Everybody has that. And of course everyone looks at their books and you probably say, oh, how can I get this off? How can I get rid of this? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that today. I'm going to show you a really easy way to do that. It's going to cost you less than $5. It's going to take you less than really 10 minutes a book. And it's going to make your books just really pop that much more. So whether you've got a book, maybe it's like a 2 or a 3, and you want to make it a 4 or 5 or 6, and you want to send it into CGC and get it slabbed, this is a great way to do that. If you want to just do it for your own personal preference, this is another great way to do that. That's my reason. These aren't books that I'm going to get slabbed, but they're books that had some dirt, and I wanted to try to get rid of it just to make them look a little bit nicer. Really, really easy. Erasers. That's what you need, white erasers. So a pen eraser is the first tool you're going to need. So basically this one has a pencil on the end. Of course you're not going to use that, but you can get the ones that have the erasers that go all the way through. Where you're going to use that is you're going to use that on the font. So anywhere that you have like the font, the white lettering up here, that's where you're going to use that. Any sort of stuff like right here, you're going to use the pen eraser, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to get your eraser into the colors. Like if you have a stain or anything on the coloring, like the black stuff, you're really not going to see it on the coloring. But if you get any staining on the coloring, like I would just never touch it. It just can't be fixed. You can actually see, I don't know if you can actually see it on the video, but right here, I don't know if I'm showing it properly, but I actually got some eraser on a black line right there and took it off just a little bit. So you got to be really careful with that. Any coloring, you'll take it right off. So that's the pen eraser. The big eraser, where you're going to do the bulk of your work, that's going to be anything like this. Anything like in these white spaces, which a lot of books have. Of course, this is a great example. A lot of white here, a lot of white in here. That's where you're going to be able to use these. And what you want to do is you want to put a little bit of elbow grease in it, but not too much that you're going to rip the page. And you want to make sure that you use 2 hands, because if you're using one hand and you get going and you bend that page really quick, you're going to create a huge crease, and no eraser in the world is going to take out that crease. So definitely be very careful when you do this. Before I get started with cleaning, I wanted to give a shout out. Nerdy Father, you can find him here on YouTube and Instagram. He gave me the inspiration for this. He's got a great video where he cleans a nice ASM book. So check him out here on YouTube, and check him out on Instagram. Does some great work. He's got a really nice collection, so make sure you check him out. So let's get to some cleaning, guys. We'll start with the Fantastic Four book, and basically we'll just get down to it. I'm going to show you the areas that require cleaning, and yeah, we'll get started and we'll see how good this does. I don't know how good it's going to do, but yeah, we'll check it out. Okay guys, so here's our first book we're going to attempt to clean. I pointed some of this stuff out earlier. Right there, there's some stuff. You've got some buildup of some grime and some dirt. Who knows what it is on the lettering. These books, of course, they're, most of the books in my collection are probably between 40 to 50 years old. So generally these books are passed from person to person, and not everybody takes as good care of their books as we do. So you're going to get some buildup on lettering. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start on the lettering right here. I'm going to just show you guys, try to get it focused. There we go. We're going to get in here and we're going to just try to take some of this stuff off. You want to be really careful. You want to be delicate with it. You can see it's getting a bit of it off there, actually. It's doing a pretty good job. Move this camera, trying to adjust this camera as I'm working here, guys, so my apologies. Hopefully none of you guys get car sick. This one, so you're just going to do a little spiral action. You're never going to get it all because some of this stuff has been on here for so long. That almost looks like it's a small burn or something. I don't know what that is, but just small circular motions on the lettering, and you can get some of this stuff for sure. The F here, you get some buildup on the F. So getting a bit of it off. I don't want to go too crazy. We're going to attempt to clean Captain Marvel. This is a book I got a few years ago. It's actually in pretty good shape overall. Like, it's not as bad as a Fantastic Four. It's been a little bit newer, so. But you've got your dirt up here in the corner. You want to be really careful around the edges because it's easy to do this. Got your stuff right there. I'll probably use the smaller eraser for this stuff because it's a little easier to maneuver. Get some stuff in between. So we're going to basically try to clean the top of this area. So let's get the oh. All right, next book we've got Defenders 9 here. So this is pretty good. This one is like a almost entire white background. So that's where you're gonna see this show up a lot. So you got right here some spots I noticed right away. We're right here underneath of Iron Man's fist. Right over Namor's head there, underneath the lettering, you've got some dirt buildup. And then over here, over top of Doctor Strange, you've got some stuff too. So I'm going to try to tackle that right now. Okay guys, so I spent a little bit of extra time working on these. So here's the first one, the Fantastic Four book. You can see a lot was removed from in here. And I mentioned there was some stuff around the edge of the arena here. That was all removed. So I did a pretty good job on this portion of the book. Wasn't able to remove the weird staining. Actually, you can see, and that's exactly why we talk about not going near the color. You can see I removed a small little bit of the black line right there. So that's my mistake, but I was able to clean up the letters pretty good, I think. I've got some side-by-side pictures. So that book did pretty good. Hulk was able to clean up the letters a bit. I think it did a pretty decent job on a few of these. Did a decent job. Wasn't able to get rid of that staining. Maybe a little bit of it actually came off. I'll have to look at the picture side by side, but that's some sort of water stain. You can tell by the pattern. So that's not going to come off. Did a really good job on this book, I think. A lot of this stuff around his arms, if you look at the side by side photo, you can see a lot of it came off, and down here along the side of his body looks a lot cleaner and crisper. Up here around his arms again, and above his arms next to the M looks really nice and white. Between his legs there looks really nice. So I think this book, it actually did quite a good job. I got some work done up here as well between some of the letters. That's a pretty tight spot, so you want to be really careful. And this is a book I think it really did the best on. We mentioned there was a bit of stuff here. I could probably touch that up a little bit more right there on the bottom, just to the left of the speech bubble, but it did a good job. There was a mark above the bubble that I got off entirely. And in here too, actually above his shoulder, I could probably touch that up a bit. But did a pretty good job overall. Above Namor's head there, Submariner's head, did a really good job. And over here above Doctor Strange, again, decent job. You know, you're not going to get these perfect, but you are going to be able to brighten them up a little bit. And here there was some dirt here, just to the left of Hulk's leg. Managed to get that off, and there was some stuff here above his head, just below his little black box there. So overall, did a pretty good job. You know, guys, this is a really simple way to clean your books. It's not meant to turn them into brand new. You're never going to be able to do that. And if you are, there's going to be some sort of machine that's going to do that. I don't even think it's possible. I've seen things posted online. I read some different forums, and one guy was speaking of, he was actually saying to use Windex and and a magic eraser or something like that. I could never imagine using that on one of my books. I think that would just be a terrible idea. I think you're best to stick to simple things if you're going to do it at home, if you're going to do it yourself. Stick to the simple stuff like erasers, like I showed you in this video, and it does a pretty decent job for what it's worth, right? You pay a couple bucks, you clean up your books a bit, makes it look a bit better. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one.